All right, welcome into Floor is Yours, an extension of 5 on the Floor here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. You can also catch this on our podcast feed, which, of course, these days includes Red Circle, but also Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. That's our new deal with Fansided, so make sure you check that out. We're going to be going kind of stream to pod sometimes. Sometimes we're going to be going pod to stream. So this time, here is today's floor plan, and then we'll tell you about our sponsors. We got Brady Hawk. You can follow him at Brady Hawk 305. Alex Toledo, you can follow at Tropical Blanket. And Greg Sylvander, you can follow at Greg Sylvander. I'm Ethan Skolnick. Please don't follow me anywhere. All right, so basically our sponsors tonight includes Prize Picks. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get your initial deposit matched up to $100. Prize Picks was just named the #1 fastest growing sports company in the country. So there's a reason for that. Use that code 5, play your props. I saw people today speculating, as they do every day, about how many yards Tua is going to throw for. Well, why not bet on it? His number there is 3950. So if you believe he's going to go over in 17 games, which means you think he's going to play 17 games, then go over. I have my doubts about that, but I think he's going to have a good season. So go to Prize Picks, use the code 5, you get your initial deposit matched up to $100. Again, you put down 20, they'll give you 20. And of course, you can play MLB right now, NFL preseason, and more. If you had Deshaun Watson over or under 12.5 games, I hope you went under, because that's what turned out to happen in the NFL today. All right, the floor plan beyond that, we're going to do top 5. So we are doing this off of our Off the Floor feed. So if you're not subscribed to that yet, it's free for the first week and $3.05 a week after that. We've got almost 500 subscribers there. We take their suggestions. We give them exclusive information. They've been giving us suggestions for a lot of our top 5s that we've been doing on the feed already. But today we're just going to do these rapid fire. We're going to combine them. Most of these, Alex and Brady aren't even going to speak because some of these happened before either of them were alive. So Greg and I are going to have a good time today. I'm just going to go through these again rapid fire, okay? The ones that I think Alex and Brady, again, were alive for, they should jump in on first. The old head ones, Greg, those are going to be yours. You ready? Greg, I'm giving this one to you. Got to do these quick, though. This is not 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. First 5 guys that come to mind. Top 5 big man passers for the Heat in their history.
Big man passers. Bam Adebayo. Oh, gosh. This is difficult. I can't think. Chris Bosh. Shaq.
Thank you, Alex. Yes.
Thank you. See, I'm not good at this. Chime in, y'all, if y'all got them. Like,
no, we're trying to let you do it because the fact you didn't go with Shaq first is discouraging. But go ahead.
Lamar Odom, he played the 4. Do I get to include him?
He's 6'10". That's good.
And
Josh McRoberts. There we go.
Anthony
okay,
Mason.
let's go.
Anthony Mason.
Alex, this is yours. Remember, quick on these. Top 5 fan misconceptions. 5 things that fans are wrong about. Go.
Jesus Christ, Ethan. You're not even prepared for this at all.
That is not an answer. That is not an answer.
All right, let's do this. Top 5 fan misconception. Justice Winslow was a bad player, right? Okay, you set me up.
Raise your volume. Do that first, too. Go ahead.
Top 5 fan misconceptions. Number 1, Justice Winslow was a bad player.
Okay. Keep going.
Number 2, Michael Beasley should not be brought back a 5th time.
This is just Alex just pushing his own agenda.
That's it. That's all this is. I know what's coming next. Go ahead.
I don't even know. I'm running out of
Bam not shooting enough is not Bam's fault. Go ahead. Go, because you blame that on Spo. All right, that's 3. Go ahead with 4.
All right. Let's see.
The culture's not real.
Sean Marion was not a good player for the Heat.
I don't know that people argue otherwise, but go ahead. You got one more?
I'm literally coming up with the most random stuff right now. Like I just don't even.
Is that as far back as your memory goes?
It's pretty much.
Well, no,
2009.
06. No, all right. My last one, the bubble run was a fluke.
There you go. Okay.
I still think it holds some weight, and I think Heat fans have gotten so defensive against it that they kind of believe it a little bit, and they got to stop giving credence to it.
All right, Brady, this one next comes in on the list. I just read them as they come in. I'm not actually filtering through these. Top 5 cutest Heat players. That one actually came in. Then we'll go past that. All right, we're not going to go to this one on you, Brady, because I can't, because this one goes too far back. But let's put this one in our pocket. Greg, think about it for later. The top 5 players the Heat regrets trading. It's interesting. I don't know that we'll get 5, but just you think about that while I look for the next one here. This is very scientific what we're doing here tonight. Okay.
By the
All right,
way,
let's go to this.
listeners, off the floor is not $3.05 a week. It's $3.05 a month. Just have to correct Ethan all the way back up at the top.
Well, no, I raised the price. I just didn't tell anybody. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, let's go with this one. Wow, what can I give Brady here? All right. Top 5 Heat dunks of the modern era. So we'll go from 2006 on. We'll go from what was that? Or give me 5.
Okay. First one that came in my head, or we got to say LeBron and Jason Terry. That's probably has to be 1.
Okay.
I'd say 2, Wade on Verjao. I feel like that has to be in there. Is the Wade against the Thunder? Would that crack the top 5?
Yes.
On Perkins?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Braun over John Lucas.
Okay. Or was that the one against the Bulls?
Yes.
Okay,
John Lucas. He ended John Lucas III's career, although he surfaced back with the Heat. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you finish without this. It's LeBron and Wade in Milwaukee. Was a dunk,
Okay,
right? That's a dunk. Okay.
No.
What do you mean? No, it was right in front of me. I should have snapped that picture.
Oh,
It would have been blurry.
Yeah.
But it's not an amazing dunk.
Yeah.
He had better.
That was perfectly choreographed. You don't think they planned that weeks in advance? No, I'm just kidding.
Caleb Martin against the Bucks.
The others.
All right. Greg, forget the other one I gave you because I like this one. Top 5 diamond in the rough finding signings in Heat history. Only can do 5. Put them in order.
Oh gosh, this rapid fire stuff.
It's so hard, and Ethan's not even having to do it. So he just
I know that,
right.
that's what's difficult. He's just inflicting the pain on us.
Switch host.
Let's see how this goes. Okay, I put them in order. Udonis Haslem, Bruce Bowen. Who else is undrafted, y'all? Come on, give me some names.
Rodney Magruder.
No, I wouldn't go Magruder. I'm not good at this rapid fire stuff.
Max Strus, Gabe Vincent.
Those are 2 great ones.
Hassan Whiteside, Duncan Robinson.
No, we're not doing Hassan Whiteside.
Anthony Carter, Joel Anthony.
I'll take AC.
Okay, that's fair. All right, let's go with this one. I'm going to answer the top 5 funniest players ever. That one's for me. Top 5 busts, Alex. Put them in order.
Oh my God, you really set me up for this one, huh? They barely have any first-round draft picks, and I'm not going to say like a couple of them. So like, it's really tough at this point. Like, what do you want me to call a bust? Like Dexter Pittman? He was a first-round pick, wasn't he?
No, he was not. He was a second-round pick.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we've started really great on this one. So
you want me to handle this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
First round picks that were busts. Tim James, really nice guy, went off to serve in Iraq, was not an NBA player. Wayne Simeon, also really nice guy, went on to become a pastor, was not an NBA player. Khalid Reeves, Harold Miner, someone named Charles Smith that nobody remembers. Not the Charles Smith that got blocked by the Bulls playing for Pat New York, but a Charles Smith from, I think, New Mexico or New Mexico State that they took in the first round. Martin Murasep, a Pat Riley special. That was one of the busts of the first round. I'm not going to say Beasley, so don't worry about it, even though he's the highest pick one that didn't pan out. Let me ask you this question, and I'm putting you on the spot here, Alex, because you didn't answer the real question. Who is a bigger bust by their draft position for what they contributed to the Miami Heat? Michael Beasley at 2 or Justice Winslow at 10?
Easily Beasley. Like, come on. I love Bees, but come on. Justice at least was like a decent player on winning teams. Bees was like, he was a real bucket getter. I'm not going to doubt that. Like the buckets were real, but it's just different. Like I think Winslow at least is like you could throw him into a rotation and he could play a role, right? Like the Beasley thing, it's he expects more shots than he wants. And look, you're never going to hear this from me again, so savor it now. But Beasley is the answer.
Greg, top 5. This is a good one, but this is a Greg one for sure. Top 5 playoff games in Heat history.
Oh my gosh. Game 6 against San Antonio, game 6 in Boston.
Yep.
I would say that this is where it starts to get dicey for me, man.
Game 3 against Dallas.
Game 5 in Chicago, game 6 at Dallas, And
You going with Game 6 in Dallas or Game 3 against
Game
Dallas?
6 in Dallas in 06.
I would go with Game 3.
I'm putting both in there. I want
Okay.
Game 6 and I want Game 3 from 06. There's my 5. Moving on.
I have a dark horse, which is Game 4 against Indiana, where LeBron and Dwayne went nuts in the second half. It was the best I've ever seen two players play together. Just that you just take that second half of Game 4, 2012, Indiana, without Bosch, but I think you've got a good list. You know, there was some really good games from the late 90s too, but no one remembers it because everybody remembers the Mashburn thing and the Allen Houston shot. But Timmy's 38 was a memorable game for sure, but it doesn't compare. Yes, Alex.
Game 5, Boston, 2011, when they eliminated the Celtics.
Yeah. When LeBron released all his demons from
it was a
the
great
Boston
game
curse.
too.
Well, he released his demons until the finals. then the demons the demons came back in spades after that.
That Bulls game in the conference finals where they came back.
He mentioned that. That's Game 5. That's Game 5.
Game 3 bubble finals. That's all.
Hold on, now I got one for Ethan. Top 5 free agents or trades that didn't end up happening. Quick, go.
How do you even do that one? There are thousands of trades and free agent signings that don't happen on a daily basis.
Well, I know that. I gave you an impossible question. So
Greg, give me a real one, because that one you can't do that one. There's no way to do that one.
Top 5 defensive players in Heat history.
Okay. Number 1 is Alonzo Mourning still for me. I think Bam Adebayo is number 2. I would put Bruce Bowen likely number 3. Although his time in Miami was relatively short. I know you guys wanted me to say Jimmy. I don't know if Jimmy makes the top 5. I can't do LeBron because he took a lot of plays off. I can't do Dwayne, even as great as a shot blocker as he was, because he didn't play defense the last 5 years of his career. I mean, early on, yes, but I would say this is a totally unsexy pick, but I think PJ Brown was definitely top 10 in terms of defenders. I think James Posey, for a limited amount of time, is pretty close to this list. But I think you got to put UD on the top 5 for the Dirk series alone. So I would. Plus, we got to celebrate UD this week because I'm going with Greg's reporting on that one, and not necessarily with the way that Ira interpreted the fact that UD's doing his presser or doing his availability Sunday or doing his announcement Sunday at his high school. I think he's going back. My opinion, I don't have information on this. Okay. My opinion is he's the type that would go back to his high school where it all started to announce that it was ending. That just feels, from knowing Udonis for 19 years, that's what it feels like to me. We'll see if that's what actually plays out. I think he would want to do it at home. He considers that home. So that's what I'm expecting on Sunday. All right, let's get to this one. I feel like I'm gonna have to go to Greg on this one again, but you got to go. Oh, you know what? Let's include everybody on this one, okay? Because somebody said top 5 historic Heat rivalries, but let's put it into context now, because I know the rivalries are different for the modern age. So if I just say top 5 Heat rivalries, we're gonna get different answers from the three of you, I think. Okay, Greg, you would say the number 1 Heat rivalry in history is what?
Heat Celtics. You thought I was going to say Heat Knicks, didn't you?
I'm the old guy. I'm going with Heat Knicks. There's nothing that compares to that, even though they've been dog bleep for 20 years. Brady, what do you got?
I was going to say Celtics. There's no way I can say Knicks, because I had this conversation on Twitter the other day. They were talking about the Heat didn't get a Christmas game. They have to make the finals. And I looked at it and I was like, I wasn't born the last time the Knicks made the finals. They made it last time was in 1999. So the Knicks have never been relevant in my life. So I don't know how they have Christmas games. I don't know where the rivalry started. I don't know what all this is. I just know the Knicks are not relevant. So I'd say Celtics, just because even to this day, everything has been Heat Celtics.
You're going to say Philly, aren't you?
Oh, man. Oh, wow. Honestly, that should have been my answer. I was going to say Celtics. But, no, the Sixers is not a rivalry, because it's come on. Where's the rivalry? Where's the history? That team is a joke.
All right, here we go. One more, and then we're going to introduce another sponsor here. You all can chime in on this one, and you can probably find these on the most recent jersey. Top 5 jerseys in Heat history. Alex, you start.
Wait, we're talking about jersey designs?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, I like this question. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go with
so number 1 is – go ahead. Go ahead.
The blue Vice. I don't remember the names of all the Vice.
Blue Wave, was it?
No, Alex. No.
I wasn't even gonna go there.
You gotta
love
go
that
Black
one.
Vice, right?
Okay.
I mean, the home Reds, or excuse me, the road Reds are the closest to my heart because that's the jerseys that they were wearing Game 6 in Dallas. So there's something that sticks to the gut about those jerseys. But for me, the Black Vice was like the dopest ones, right? After that, am I wrong? Maybe those old school.
I love the
I
black.
can give you the worst jersey in Heat history. It's not even close.
The Pacers.
When they wore those Pittsburgh pirate looking things. What the hell was trophy goals?
Hold on. There's a couple worse ones. The camo home strong ones
was bad.
Yeah, but that's for I mean,
that
was for a good cause. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on that.
We're talking strictly jersey design here. I think they could have done more. I think the actual shorts were the problem there because it was like I'm gonna say, you know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna stop myself right there because we're doing a podcast. But the other one, it was the black tie jerseys. Those were pretty awful.
I like how we turned the question into top 5 worst jerseys. We just totally flipped it.
Okay, the other one that was gonna be in my top 5 best are pick any of the 90s ones. Like I'm a big fan, even though I wasn't, I didn't watch during that time. I'm a big fan of the 90s Heat jerseys, and I think they should bring those back now that they've run out of Vice stuff and they ran out mashup and the earlier one that Ethan mentioned, the Pittsburgh one. But
I think we have to. I can't believe we went straight to Vice because I wasn't even gonna go there. I was gonna say like the white hot. I think it has to be in there.
I think those were the best.
I think the black ones with the white in it.
Yeah.
I think those were probably the best. So I'd have those two.
Yeah.
And I'd say if we're gonna go even older, if I play 2K with the Heat, I would go with the retro red ones, like the old red ones.
Yeah.
So I think those are probably have to be in there too.
I think those retros are all kind of like 10 out of 10 or close.
Most retros are better than current jerseys. The Dolphins retros are what they should be wearing all the time, to be honest. All right, want to tell you about another sponsor here, and then we're going to go do some more rapid fire. I got some difficult ones for these guys. Check out Better Edge. We told you about our fantasy sponsor. This is our gambling sponsor. It's called Better Edge, BETTOR. That's like BETTOR, betteredge.com/5 reasons. This is not an app. It's actually a web-based product. You can get it right on your laptop or on your phone. And basically, again, you go directly there. You get $20 to play. This is peer-to-peer betting. So this is not you betting against the book. It's not offshore. It's not illegal. You're betting against other people on the app. It's just like you're betting against your friends. So you can find the line that you want. So say, I don't know, the Dolphins, I think, are 3.5 point favorites against the Patriots. Say you want to try to make more money on it, okay, and you think they're going to win by a touchdown or more, you can probably find that there on Better Edge. So it's a different way to play. This is our new sponsor for all gambling products here on the network. So make sure you check it out. Again, it's betteredge.com/5 reasons. All right, let's get to the rest of these here before we close. This one all comes in from the same phone number, so we appreciate these. These are good. Top 5 defensive stops in Heat history.
Okay. So the Bam Jason Tatum block is an obvious one, right? And I know obviously you guys got more probably have more examples to name, but the ones that come to mind is that one, the D Wade one from the earlier game we mentioned on game 3-06 when he stopped that alley-oop that was going to be a game winner, I think, to Josh Howard. If I remember correctly, it was just an incredible play. And obviously the Heat were down 2-0 at that point. They were kind of, if I remember correctly, game 3 was a game where they were like down 13.
Yep.
In the fourth quarter, they were on the verge of going down 3-0. Wade goes crazy and ends up sealing the game with that interception at the rim.
Chris Bosh block.
Yeah,
Bosh blocks Parker is definitely
Bosh
up there.
Block. I was also going to say another one that came to my mind just now. Same finals, Alonzo.
Yeah,
I know it's like one of the iconic ones at least.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can't believe we didn't say that right off the bat. Also, LeBron got Thiago Splitter in a pretty good way in the finals.
That's 5. That's 5.
No,
that's 5. All right, next one here. This is a good one too, and he actually gave nominees after it. Top 5 regular season Heat games. Oh, wow. I love this one, and this one's going on the list. Rex Chapman against the Bulls. No doubt about it. That one's it. You're talking about a team that won 72 games, right?
Yep.
And the Heat had 8 players that night. They made the trade for Tim Hardaway and the others. 5 players were coming in. They weren't there yet. Rex Chapman scores 37 to beat Jordan's Bulls, one of the only 10 games the team lost the entire season. That one's up there. And I'll give you one more that's on this list that is for sure. The Dwayne double overtime game in his 2008-2009 season against Chicago, for sure. But there's some good ones that he.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you have to throw the other one because I saw the comment. The D Wade against Golden State, I feel like has to be on there. Like that's a definite for me.
You know why that happened. I was supposed to go and I got caught in traffic, didn't make it. Go ahead, Greg.
I guess I'm going a little sentimental here, but wouldn't Dwayne's triple double in his final game?
Yeah.
I mean that was a pretty good one. I mean, I guess they lost and the game sucked, so that's a lead balloon a little bit.
Well, how about this one? I thought that Alex would come up with one of you guys would come up with this one. He had Dion's game winner against Golden State.
No. You can't pick no game that Hassan was even near.
I think another one would be that Hawks game where they had like the crazy stat lines. The game with
the recent
like Bam and Jimmy had triple doubles. None had like 38.
Yeah, that first Jimmy season, right?
Yep.
Right. That does that stat line still doesn't make sense at all. Like I feel like that does not even add up.
That was the Trey Young game, right? Where Trey said it was over.
Yeah.
I was at
that has to be in there.
It was in that season for sure. The other one that came to my mind, just a really fun one, out of the box, was 2014-15, the season finale, when it was Henry Walker, Michael Beasley, I think Zoran Dragic. I don't remember many of the other. James Ennis was on that roster for sure. And it was just, I think, versus the Sixers. It might versus the process Sixers. The
two teams trying to lose at the same time.
Yeah, just in completely different ways.
The Sixers lost better, didn't they?
The Heat won that game. Oh no, wait. Hold on. I'm confusing two different games here because the one that I'm thinking of is the Henry Walker game winner
in Orlando.
Yeah, which was not the.
That was in Orlando. The other one was against Philly. The other one was against Philly. Here to me
from that season.
To me, this one has to be on the list, even though it didn't have great significance in terms of changing standings or anything. December 2nd, 2010 in Cleveland.
100%.
Is to me that's the number one regular season game in Heat history.
That whole Wade Braun series of regular season games, like you could.
That was it's just the circumstances of that where I thought I was going to die. I mean, they were throwing batteries from the top, and we all watched the end of that game from the press room because it was getting so rowdy. I was talking about what that week was like. The night before, I went to some bars in Cleveland. And when you went into the bathroom at the bars and you went to the urinals, you could literally urinate on LeBron's face. That's what it was like that week in Cleveland. And it was one of the scariest environments that I've ever seen. That is definitely on the list. But reality is you really could pick all 5 or all 82 from the 2010-2011 season.
Oh, yeah.
Because every game had ridiculous significance.
The other one that I was going to say was, and this is what I originally thought you were saying when you mentioned the Cavs, was before LeBron joined the Heat, when it would be Wade versus Bron, and they would each put up insane stat lines, and a lot of those games were really good and back and forth, and obviously they were just kind of going at each other. And so I think pick one, because I think there was one that's like a standout from those series of games, and one of those probably got to be in the top 5, like from a showcase standpoint.
Let's go with our top 5 funniest Heat players in history.
Oh, man. Okay.
Jimmy's one.
You think so?
Yes.
That quickly, though?
Yes. It's not all in press conferences, although a lot of it is. But to me, I think Chris Bosh was unintentionally hysterical a lot. Sometimes intentionally. I think Chris is definitely top 5.
I think Dion is hilarious.
I know we don't want Hassan's Snapchat.
I don't think the Heat found him hilarious at the end, Alex.
Hassan was goofy enough to be considered.
His Snapchat stories get him in.
Hassan was definitely funny, even if you don't.
Again, he was talking to Fish. Mario Chalmers was funny too in his own way. Beasley was funny. I'm just trying to think of other guys that were just funny impressors, though.
See that I've tried to catalog back, and like when you think.
Here's my question: how funny did you think Shaq was during his Heat run?
That's a good one. No, he's probably got to be there.
When it was happening, I thought he was real funny. And
Right.
some of it was kind of corny, but man, I was bought in at that moment.
Like
Anybody else on those teams? I don't think on the 2006 team there was really nobody like. I don't know.
Jason
like,
Williams, maybe he had a little bit of.
Well, it depended if you were interviewing Jason. Then it wasn't really funny. Sometimes.
Correct. Then it was just like mumbling.
Yeah. Who's that? Gary?
Yeah. You think he was funny?
Gary. Yeah. Yeah. But again, Gary was kind of a little bitter by then. Gary in Seattle. Gary in Seattle was funny.
Could UD be in there?
UD is funny, I think. Yes.
UD is funny.
There's
so many different types of funny on this list. It's pretty good.
You wouldn't put Jimmy one?
I would.
I mean, between the memes, between the getting on teammates,
because social media being the way it is now, I feel like ups it. Like that may have an impact on it. Like maybe if these certain guys back then had this type of stuff that he can do, but the fact that he actually does it and goes at people like PJ Tucker and Embiid and says the stuff he does, like I feel like he does.
Anybody else from the big three teams? Mike Miller could be funny, but he didn't get enough
Jimmy
playing
commented
time.
on Gabby Union's Instagram post before he was a Heat player.
Yes. And Dwayne told him to stay away.
Yeah, that's insane. Jimmy might be number one.
Dwayne was never that funny, right? It wasn't really his thing.
Nah,
LeBron is not funny intentionally either.
LeBron is not funny, period.
He's borderline corny sometimes.
Right. All right. That's a good one, though. I'm sure other people will have suggestions of people that we miss. I mean, they didn't have like any class clown. I mean, Beasley, right? I mean, they don't really bring in a ton of funny guys because funny guys tend not to go with the program, right?
Wait a minute. Who are the funny NBA players? Like, who do y'all consider funny? I mean, I like to listen to Draymond Green speak.
I think Draymond can be funny.
Anthony Edwards. Anthony
Edwards is funny because he's genuine. And there's so few of those guys at that age who are genuine. He just is who he is. You know, too many of them are scripted to be funny. That's the problem, right? I think Klay Thompson can be funny at times.
JR was funny.
No, that's true. JR was funny. Is JR still in school, by the way? Wasn't he going to college, play golf, that whole thing? Did that die? All right. We got one more here. Thanks to our sponsors, betteredge.com/5 reasons. Go to Prize Picks, use the code FIVE. Thanks again to our partners over at Fansided and Minute Media. That's why we're able to give you more episodes lately. Thanks to everybody for listening. I'm going to look for one more. Let's see what else we got here.
I have one I can throw out.
Go ahead.
Top 5 most memorable losses in Heat history. And the reason I was kind of thinking about this, would Game 7 this past year be in there? Or was that?
Yes, 100%. Yes. Allen Houston's miss. Mashburn's pass.
Yes, those two. For the Knicks era, those are the two.
Yeah. The Dallas loss when they won the championship on their home floor.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were gonna say the one where it was D Wade and LeBron.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I got to go to this.
Game 2. That's game 2. Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I don't mean to go back, but it's in the comments here. This is one of the benefits of us doing streams. Perry Greenfield is a follower of us. Has Birdman. Birdman is one of the 5 funniest in Heat history. And yes, for sure.
Good call.
For sure. When I used to do, when I used to have to do like pregame hits on the floor with, TV hits with Fox, when it was Fox, before it became Bally's, Birdman would come in and like stick his face in front of me so I couldn't do my live shoot. I was literally afraid of that person, but I actually ended up having a good relationship with him. You just had to kind of know how to deal with him. But yes, I would say Birdman was top 5 for sure. Okay, so other memorable losses. I would say, man, the 09 and 2000 playoff series, kind of you forget about them. 2014 in San Antonio, they just had no chance.
The Jimmy loss hurt. This one, I'm calling it the Jimmy loss because it was his shot. Like that one really hurt.
Yeah, I think that one.
No, not that Paul Pierce buzzer beater. The stakes weren't high enough. No, the stakes weren't high enough.
As a kid, for me, that was devastating. I don't think you understand. That was devastating. Like I thought they had a chance versus the 2010 Celtics.
Could you argue though, Greg, that the losses to the Knicks were the most gut-wrenching? I feel like those were more gut-wrenching than any losses that followed because of the hatred between the two teams, because you knew the Heat were always better in the regular season. They were there. It was a 1 versus an 8, a 2 versus a 7, a 2 versus a 7, and a 2 versus a 7. And they somehow managed to lose 3 of them. Every one of those 4 series went to the final game. They blew 3 of them in the most heartbreaking way you possibly could. I mean, those were the ones where Pat was crying and Zoe had to come in and tell him to talk to the effing team. I feel like if you ask Pat, okay, who has, I will say he has trouble kind of remembering which is which at this point because he's done this before in the pressers. And I'm actually remembering, no, that's not actually the one that it was. So I think he's kind of blending them all together. But I think if you ask Pat for the losses that hurt him the most, probably because he was coaching, I think he'd pick the 3 finales against the Knicks. Game 7, Toronto, 2016.
That's what I was just going to bring. I feel like it might have because, but I feel like if that still hurt because it was a Game 7 and the fact that they could have competed with Cleveland. And if they didn't compete with Cleveland, D Wade versus LeBron in Eastern Conference Finals, like I feel like everybody just wanted to see that. So that's where I think I would include it.
Yeah, I could see that. You know
why I wouldn't say that one though before you go on, because after that game I was in Toronto, and after that game, first thing, they knew they didn't have a chance. They had Winslow playing at the 5 at that point. Chris wasn't coming back. Bosh. There was a lot of tension between the team and Bosch's camp at that point. A lot. I don't know that Whiteside would have been back for the start of the next series, and that mattered actually in the way that they were going to try to play. And I just remember being in front of Dwayne's locker, and it almost seemed like Dwayne was just okay that the whole thing was over with. He just seemed, I don't know. I think that team was cooked. Like I know a lot of people look ahead and say like, okay, they would have challenged LeBron because they were the best matchup. Yes, if Chris Bosh was healthy, but without Chris Bosh, they weren't beating that team. Anyway,
without Bosh and Whiteside, they would have been.
They had no chance. They had no chance at all. What was the other one, Greg? I'm sorry.
No, I have to throw in that although and I was sitting in the arena for all of those Knicks losses. By the third one, you had no soul essentially as you sat there and glared at Clarence Weatherspoon. But when they lost to the Mavericks in 2011, because we had been so cocky Heat fan and like expectations were so high, you had this world like everyone hated them. When they lost, I can honestly say that was probably one of the most dejected moments as a fan.
Because you kept waiting for LeBron to figure it out, and it just wasn't going to happen. That's also where he did. Well, that's also where he did the presser. He told everybody to go back to their, crappy little lives, and then he got a media trainer that offseason.
That was funny.
That was funny. By the way, another suggestion on somebody who's funny. Damon Jones was funny. That was
that is a good one.
Damon Jones was funny. I actually gave them the nicknames. I actually gave him and Shaq the nicknames Donkey and Shrek, which they took to. But no, because Damon used to follow him around. Seriously, and then they started calling themselves. They started calling themselves that.
You have got some fortitude calling him that. That's insane.
I like David. I will.
He does look like him though.
No, he would just stand behind Shaq the whole time yapping. I mean, he's exactly
That's not
like
what it is, man.
That's basically what he did. James Johnson is funny. I'll give you that one. Some of the other ones that are coming in on the comments. Throw the comments up here. We'll end with this again. Thanks for sponsors. Lance Stevenson. What about Lance Stevenson? I don't know about anything about Lance Stevenson. Well, Lance Stevenson blowing in LeBron's ear was funny. Biombo cooked them. That's right. They made Biombo about $70 million with that series. Oh, this is good. We'll finish with this. You ready? Yeah. Top 5 random scrub Heat killers. Ready? Wayne Ellington's on the list, even though he went to the Heat, right? We agree with Wayne?
Jamal Crawford is who I nominate.
He's not a scrub. He's not a scrub.
Oh yeah. You're right.
He's not a scrub. You can't do that. I mean, not that Wayne's a scrub, but it's not the same. Jamal Crawford won 6 Man of the Year awards. You can't do that.
Gary Neal.
Okay. Malik Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Neal's on the list.
That's right. Gary Neal.
Terrence Ross has to.
Terrence Ross.
What's Buddy from the last series that we just lost? White.
Oh, Pritchard?
No, not the white boy.
Ish Smith is great. That is definitely
Jordan McLaughlin, because didn't he get a contract because of the one game against Miami?
Oh, yeah, but here's the other one. You have to put this guy on the list because this came up that first year where everybody rose up against the Heat. Like even Millsap hitting the threes was totally weird. He never hit a three before that game, and then he became a 3-point shooter. But the one I always remember is John Henson, who was a big on Milwaukee. He had like 22 rebounds against the Heat. And I remember LeBron came in 2 days later looking at the stat sheet. Like he actually pulled it out on his phone and he goes, look at this MFer. He had 22 rebounds against us and he just had no rebounds in the next game. He said, everybody does this bleep to us. So I'm putting John Henson on the list. Yeah, Malik Monk plays like Kobe against the Heat. I know. Trust me, I know. I got a lot of heat for that one. Are we missing
White.
one?
That's what I was trying to think of.
Derek White. Garrison Matthews is a good one. It was one game, though, right? It was one game.
Good player.
It felt like
It's not like Terrence Ross is an okay player, but it's just like he's one of those guys that every single game, he's dropping 30 against the Heat and then missing all 7 threes the next night.
Oh, we got some good ones, though.
It was like that entire Magic roster because like Fournier, Ross, Vucevic's not a scrub, but he would kind of be in that realm.
Brent Forbes is a good one. Bellinelli, not so much a scrub, but he had big games against Miami. And Ilyasova, not a scrub, but also had big games against Miami.
Oh,
and yes, the Michael Carter-Williams game.
Yeah.
He won Rookie of the Year off one game. That's pretty much what he did. All right. Thanks to everybody. Hope you enjoyed this. We're a little looser tonight. Check out all the episodes on the feed. We'll be with you guys all summer. And if you want to participate in this stuff and give us ideas, go to the 5 Reasons Twitter account. I have it pinned. You can sign up for our Off the Floor feed. Have a good night.
Someone said JJ Barea.
He wins.